Hi and welcome to today's Stretch and Pray. We are on Thursday of Holy Week, which is normally following the Last Supper and foot washing. So we've got one of those passages for us to reflect on later. In a moment we're going to start by teaching our bodies to be still and then going through the stretch routine. And then we'll hear the passage in a really slow way. Quite deliberately slow, so we have time to stop and breathe and listen. And contemplation is as much as talking to God, but allowing time to listen to God as well. Allowing our bodies to be in a place where we stop and pause and come into the presence of God. It's been a wonderful journey, and thank you so much for joining me this far. So when you're ready, come into a place that you're sitting upright, but you can be comfortable. So play about with where it feels right for your legs, for your feet, for you to be sat. And remember, there's permission given. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If it feels funny in one position rather than another position, in the meditations and in the exercises, listen to your body. This is how we're going to work throughout all of it. And come, you may want to do a deep breath. Sometimes that helps me. Stop and pause. And allow your body to be at rest, to be still. And so when you're ready, close your eyes. You may have done so already. And we think about our breath once more. Take note of the rise and fall of each breath. This is sacred time to reconnect with God. Taking a moment in the quiet to thank God for this day. As we recognise the joy and sorrow that today has brought. We give thanks for another day. Breathe in God's holy breath. And may the peace of God be in our mind, body and soul. Amen. And so when you're ready, open your eyes. And we'll start with those neck stretches. One side deliberately holding down both shoulders, not letting them rise up, but placing them down. And centre and the other side. And we look down. And all the way up. Good. Let's do that chest stretch. So just bring your hands back behind you. Pull those shoulders back behind you. Lift up the chin. If you can't pull your hands back, if that's not possible, place your hands at the bottom of your spine. Draw those elbows together. And just feel the lovely stretch across the chest and across the shoulders. Just so needed if you've spent the whole day like we do at the moment on Zoom or on your computer, on Teams. And back to centre. Come the other way. Bring your arms in. Draw your chin into your chest. Pull forwards. Good. And we'll come up into our tabletop position, so up onto the hands and knees. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips, and extending through the neck. And again, we don't hollow the back, but we draw it up a little, engaging in the abdominals. Hold it there for a moment. And when you're ready, we extend one leg out behind and twist through the hip. Again, listen to your body. If this isn't right and you know it's really not right, don't do it. But for those of you that can, we lift up the arm, we extend, and then we pull up into a lovely side bend. Again, engage those abdominals. You may find yourself wobbly. And we come back, place the hand back down flat onto the floor, lifting up, extending through the leg, extending through the chin, arching the back, and bringing the knee all the way back down, hollow up the back, before coming back to centre. And so we repeat the same thing on the opposite side. So when you're ready, we slowly extend one leg out behind us and twisting up through the knee, and you'll find one side is just easier to do than the opposite side. Extend up through the arm and pull up through the chest. Hold it there for a moment. Good. Feel that lovely side stretch. Before placing the hand back down, as we do so, we lift up the back leg, arch, bring up the chin, feel the stretch to where's comfortable for you. And coming all the way back down so that the knees are hip distance apart. Drop the head, pull up the back. And come over onto your bottom. We'll do the next lovely stretch. So you may want to use your hands to draw up one foot over the top of the knee. Place your hands back behind you, slowly draw up that foot and extend. Don't drop into it, don't slouch, keep lifted. Hold it there. And there's something beautiful about the simplicity of stretch and pray. It's not overly complicated. But simply allowing these moments for God to speak. And so we take the foot down, but we do it in correlation. So lift up the other foot. In correlation to actually having that time to stretch our body, because we are interconnected beings, body, mind and spirit. And we're made in the image of a Trinitarian God, Father, Son and Holy Spirit. And so for too long we've just been separating them out in Christianity, only thinking purely about the soul with the mind and not allowing actually all of this stuff while we're here on earth that's held in the body to come and be brought in front of God. And so we place it down. So it's not particularly about transformation of the body, it's about transformation of our prayer life and allowing each of those parts to be re-engaged, and only through that do we find God's healing and the transformation. So bring your hands together. We've just been on our hands a lot. Bring your hands together and we'll do some hand circles. And cross is just central teaching to Christianity, to God's plan for us. For our healing and our wholeness. And so often, just do some wrist circles again. It's been a good way to teach me, because I want to add to everything. And God says no, just allow space and time to talk. So this is what this is. Space and time to talk to God. So come into the inner thigh stretch. And I hold on to my feet. Bring the palms of your, the soles of your feet, not the palms, the soles of your feet together. And gently allow the knees to rest outwards. And again, you'll find a place that feels comfortable for you. So sitting upwards as much as you can. You may want to place your hands on your legs to just give an extra weight, gravity. My mind always goes in this moment to cheerleading and gymnastics when I was younger, and having someone stand on each of my legs. It was the right thing for my body at the time. I'm not sure it's the right thing for my body now. Just listen, like it may be that you need to ease out of it for a second before you hold it again. And come back down. Okay, so we're in again really the final passages of Jesus's life. So when you're ready, we come into our meditation part. You may want to lie down, find a chair, take a moment, have a fidget, sort out, pull up your leggings, fidget with your hair, come into a place of stillness for your body, for you. And when you're ready, we'll close our eyes and place the palms of the hands face up. And in doing so, we say, God, I'm ready to receive all that you have for me today. That we may meet a God who so tenderly and deeply loves us. And you may find that your mind drifts and goes into the to-do list, goes into what's next, reflects back on what has been. And if you catch yourself doing that, come back to thinking about your breath and focusing on my voice. For in this moment we allow ourselves to pause. May we be aware of the presence of God. Breathe in God's breath. And so the passage of the day is John 13, verses 1 to 17. Now before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and to go to the Father. Having loved his own in the world, he loved them to the end. The devil had already put into the heart of Judas Iscariot to betray him. And during supper, Jesus knew that the Father had given him all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God. Got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into the basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, to wipe them with a towel that he had tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "You do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, do not wash my feet only, but my hands and my head also." Jesus said to him, "One who has bathed does not need to wash except for the feet, but it is entirely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For he knew who was to betray him, and for this reason he said, "Not all of you are clean." After he had washed their feet and put on his robe and returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example that you should also do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than those who have sent them. If you know these things, then you are blessed if you do them." I wonder what stood out today. And so we allow this journey to transform us, to make us see not only ourselves, but the bigger picture. May you breathe in the breath of God. And may it transform your innermost being. And so we finish by drawing the sign of the cross on our forehead. Take one finger to draw the cross. May the blessing of God the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit be with you and remain with you. Place your hand over your head and breathe in.